attended this before. Okay, I will begin the session for today, but just I thought I'll spend a few minutes talking to you before that. Nobody who has been a part of this before? Okay, all right. There is nothing, then maybe we shouldn't waste too much time. We'll start off with today's session. Just a minute. Can you all see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Abdullah. Here. Fine. Okay, so the previous two sessions, we have been looking at patterns of organization. We looked at how ideas and sentences, both, so they're not mutually exclusive, of course. So you have, we looked at how ideas and sentences are organized, can be organized. That is, we looked at the different ways in which we could organize things within a paragraph. Okay, now we are going to look at the paragraph itself. Okay, we could have done this before. We could have first looked at what the paragraph is and what are the components and other things. But these things are about the outline of the paragraph itself. It doesn't talk much about what goes into it. So I like this arrangement better, where we talked about what the internal structure looks like and then go to the external. But sometimes you can find it the other way around also. Some people would prefer talking about paragraph first and then talking about what goes in. I do not know. I have been experimenting like this. It has worked for a lot of people. You can also check for, as we progress, whether this is better or the other method is good. Okay. In any sense, everything that we say is the same. It's just the order gets reversed. That's all. Okay. So let's look at what is a paragraph. Anything that you let's begin by listening to what your understanding of paragraph is. Okay. Anybody who wants to give a quick response? I put that aside so that you don't read from the slide. Yeah. What's your understanding of a paragraph? You might have already gone through this. You could have in schools had paragraph writing and other things. So what is it about? Quickly.
It is a group of sentences which have same center of idea or single idea.
There is a central idea. There's a single idea. Okay. And then what happens in the paragraph? Generally, just one or two sentences. You're right, Nitisha. You are right about central idea and main idea. But what happens further than that? So is it just the main idea or the central idea? Do you just have that in the paragraph?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So what else do you have? Akash, any number of sentences in the form of coherent ideas put together. You can say a series of sentences in put together coherently. But any number could be contestable, Akash, because you cannot have a paragraph that is infinitely long, right? So there is some restriction to it. But yes, more or less, you're right. Nitisha is also right and Akash is also right. You can have a series of sentences with one central idea, one main idea, which are put together in a coherent manner. Okay, so that's just to so that is to begin with. Okay, I think that's a good start. So that's a fair enough idea of what a paragraph means. So that's what I also have on screen. So paragraph is a series of sentences or a series of sentences that talk about a single point or idea and are coherent and organized. Okay, how do we organize? How can we do that? Is all something that were the things that we have been discussing from some time in this session now. Okay, paragraph can be descriptive or narrative. Yes, yeah, that's about the kinds of paragraphs. We'll look at that as well. In fact, we have already looked at a lot of them. Okay. So what can paragraphs do? They can narrate a series of events. They can classify items. So that is what Ravikant was trying to say. He said describe or narrate. So it's not just describe or narrate. There are several things that the paragraphs can do. And what are they? They can narrate a series of events. They can classify. They can describe, analyze people, character, place, or things. It can define a problem, describe a process, elaborate a single long point, or describe cause and effect, compare and contrast items or entities. So everything, right? So you'll see some overlap here. We know that we have already discussed the patterns of organization, and we've looked at all of them. Remember from last time, we looked at all of these things. Right? Remember all of this? We discussed all of these things in the past 2 sessions. We looked at classification, process, enumeration, yeah, problem solution, definition, example, order of importance, chronology, generalization, description, summary. So all these can then become a part of the paragraph, right? The paragraph can essentially be about any of these things. Or I also told you about a combination of these things, right? It's not a strictly watertight compartment where you talk just about one kind of event, but you can mix and combine several things together in a paragraph as well. But to put it simply across, what does a paragraph do? All it does is it takes a central idea, puts together the details and the other supporting factors in this in a very coherent fashion and present to you, right? That's what the paragraph is about. Okay, let's move on. Okay, essentials of a paragraph, or essential elements of a paragraph, components of a paragraph. You can call it anything you want. And this is how it looks. Okay, what do you see on the screen? You have something that looks like a hamburger, or any burger, hamburger or veg burger or whatever you eat, right? So what is it? You have the first part in a paragraph would be the topic sentence, right? These are all essential parts of a paragraph. If you're writing a paragraph, one needs to check each of these boxes to see that you are writing a good paragraph, right? The first one is a topic sentence, as you see in the picture before you. Then you have several layers of supporting sentences, right? 1, 2, 3. This is just indicative. This can go up to 5 sentences. Okay, your supporting sentences can be somewhere between 4 to 5. This picture that you see on the screen is just for indicative purposes, right? But if you ask me how many supporting sentences can I write, is there an upper limit? Then I would tell you, for a normal paragraph, it is allowed that you have about 4 to 5 supporting sentences. It is a decent length and size. Okay. More than that would be only guaranteed by the situation and the context of the topic that you're presenting. If it demands you to be a little lengthy, then yes, that freedom and liberty is allowed. But if nothing of the sorts is mentioned for you while you're writing, if you are not given, a indicator of how many it should be, then the answer would be 4 to 5. Okay. Of course, also it will also depend upon the topic that you're dealing with. So no hard and fast rule when it comes to these things, but to talk about a rule, I would say 4 to 5. Okay, supporting sentences. And then comes your conclusion sentence, or alternatively also referred to as the concluding sentence. Okay, so this what forms your essential components of a paragraph. Whatever you write, whichever things go into your paragraph, these components, these 3 things need to be present in all your paragraph. Okay, that's what makes it more effective and good, to say the least. Fine. So we'll look at each of these things one by one. What topic sentence means, what supporting sentences mean, and what a concluding sentence mean. We'll begin with the topic sentence. This is hands down the most important and also the difficult part in a paragraph. It's a little tough to get around a topic sentence, to write a good topic sentence. Looks very simple. When you read about it, when you look at the examples, etc., it feels like, this is breeze. This is very easy to do. But when you actually sit down to write things, you find it very difficult to come up with a good topic sentence. And it is important. This is very, very a very significant part of the paragraph, because this is what brings your reader to what you're writing. This is the first thing that they encounter when they sit down to read what you have written, right? Now, what is a topic sentence? It introduces or it represents the main idea of the paragraph. So Nitisha and others just told me that a paragraph represents the central idea. It talks about a main idea, and this main idea of a paragraph is encoded within this topic sentence. Okay, so which is why this is the most significant part. The purpose of your sentence, the main idea, the central idea, is always encoded within the topic sentence, and hence it's the most significant part of the paragraph too, right? Now, what does it do additionally? It determines the subject of the paragraph. It usually, okay, just to emphasize on not usually, it says usually, not always, okay? Usually it is the first or second sentence of the paragraph, okay? Yeah, Dinesh, you can do that. You know, when I put it to the presentation mode, then it becomes difficult for others to read, which is why I have zoomed it. But let me know if it is still problematic, then maybe we can change. But I think this is squarely okay for a lot of people. Check if you can adjust it from your end. Otherwise, we can go back. But the problem with the slide mode is that it's going to get shrunken, and it will be difficult for people who are logging in from phones and all. Okay. All right. Yeah. So to continue, so what does it do? It introduces you to the main idea. It also helps you determine the subject of the paragraph. It helps you identify the purpose of the paragraph. Usually present in the first and the second root of the paragraph. And what does it also have? The topic sentence. It will also have something that we refer to as the controlling idea. We'll look at what these things are, what controlling idea and all means. But I mean, we'll have examples where, things will be more clear. It will be clearer for you what we mean by controlling idea and all that. So what is controlling idea? Controlling idea ideally tells the reader about the direction and the perspective of the author. So you have the topic, okay, and then the whatever follows the topic is going to be the controlling idea. The purpose of the controlling idea is to let the reader know the perspective of the author or the direction in which the paragraph would move. Okay. In opinion paragraphs, it will encode also the opinion of the writer. Okay. We'll see what controlling idea is. So the topic sentence also includes the controlling idea of the paragraph, and this can be further elaborated in the following supporting sentences in the paragraph. Okay. Right. Attitude or belief of the author. That's what I meant. And this attitude or belief of the author usually comes in opinion pieces and opinion paragraphs. Okay. We'll go further. Now, next comes in the positioning of the topic sentence. So we looked at what a topic sentence is. Is that clear to you? What do we mean by topic sentence? At this point, nothing much worrying about this thing. It's just something that talks to you about the subject of the sentence and main idea of the paragraph. Okay. So if anybody asks you what's a topic sentence, straight answer to that would be topic sentence is that which talks to you about the main and the central idea of the paragraph. Okay. So you can keep it that simple. Okay. We'll move further from there. Now, this is about the positioning of the topic sentence. Okay. The next question could be, where do I place this topic sentence? Now, remember from the previous slide, I told you this particular point, the third one, it is usually the first or second sentence in the paragraph. Now, this is the general understanding. Okay. General understanding of the placement of topic sentence. Usually, not always. You can definitely play around with this thing based on how you want to present it stylistically. Usually, if no rule is mentioned, if nothing is told to you, then and if you ask me explicitly for a rule, where do I keep my topic sentence? Then the answer to that question would be keep it as the first or the second one in the paragraph. But you can definitely play around with that concept. Now, where can you place it? You can either place it at the beginning of the paragraph as the first or the second sentence. You can place it at the end of the paragraph, or you can also place it elsewhere in the paragraph. Okay. In professional writing, though, the preferred method or the preferred placement of the topic sentence is always in the beginning of the paragraph. Okay, that removes confusion. That also keeps the writer unclogged of what he or she is doing. So the usual method, the usual technique that is suggested, the usual craft in writing suggested in professional writing is that you place it in the beginning. Although there is no restriction on right. If you are a seasoned writer, if you are an experienced and skilled writer, then you, of course, and you know the art of writing, then you're free to go and take it and place it wherever you want. But if you are a beginner, and particularly if you're writing it professionally, for the sake of a professional space, then it is always recommended that you place it at the beginning, right? This is the recommended style in professional writing. You can place it at the end. Okay, and these, when you place it at the end, remember we discussed about specific to general pattern, right? So what happens in a specific to general pattern is that you place the topic sentence at the end, right? That is what you do in the specific to general pattern. Then elsewhere in the paragraph, again, you can place it somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the penultimate part of the paragraph, anywhere besides end and beginning is what we mean by elsewhere. Okay. Now there's a fourth kind of thing about the topic sentence. Sometimes your topic sentence are not explicitly mentioned. It's not clearly identifiable within the paragraph. You can't put your finger on a sentence and say that, oh, this is the topic sentence for this paragraph. It will only be implied. Okay, you won't be able to see it. It won't be clearly or explicitly mentioned, but you can only discern it. You can only infer, or you can only read and understand after you finish off with the paragraph. Okay, so it's only implied. That's what it means. It won't be found anywhere. It would just be implied, right? But this kind of positioning, or this kind of usage of topic sentence, or the lack of a topic sentence is not something that is recommended in professional writing. This is most commonly found in fictional writing or creative writing. That is something that is used by the authors in that area. In professional writing, it is always recommended that you have a topic sentence and have it placed in the beginning. Okay, so this implied form of presentation of the topic sentence is not something that you should be using if you are a professional writer, or if you're writing for the professional domain. Okay. Now, the fifth point, topic sentences, they can be utilized to indicate transitions. We already looked at what are the signposts that we can use for transitions, like compare and contrast, and process, cause and effect, etc. So what they say is this topic sentence can be used to present such transitions. So you can use signposts for contrast. You can also use, you can show the summary and the anticipation in the following paragraph, in the paragraph that comes next, by using signposts like while, also, sorry, furthermore, indeed, in fact, etc. You can show the change in the direction of the paragraph that follows the present one by using signposts such as in contrast, however, yet, on the other hand, etc. Okay, compare and contrast can be shown using while, also, etc. Right? So all this can be possible with the help of topic sentence. Topic sentence can be used to do these things. And what else can you do? Additionally, you can imply contrast. So for example, you don't want to use any signpost. You don't want to use however, you don't want to use nevertheless. Without using the transition, or without using a linguistic signpost, if you want to indicate a contrast, a change in the direction of your writing, then what can you do? You can modify the topic sentence to look like a question, right? You can modify it to look like a question. You can pose your topic sentence as a question to imply contrast. Okay, this is a bit sophisticated style. Again, something that is used by seasoned writers. In the beginning, maybe it is not something that is recommended, or beginners usually don't use this style. But posing this as a question, the topic sentence as a question, is something that can be used to add sophistication to your writing. Okay. All right. So is that understood? Clear till now? All clear till now? Yes, no? Yes? Okay. Thank you. So we'll move ahead with this. The next part is going to be on effective topic sentences. Now, there should be some way, right? If somebody asks you, okay, how do I write a good topic sentence? Please tell me about that. So everything that we discussed is a part of that. But one thing about topic sentence is also about how do I present it. So I have an idea, I have a topic, but then how do I put it together? How should it look when I put this down as a topic sentence? So this aspect of specificity is also something that is very important while you frame a topic sentence. So what do you see on the screen? Look at that statement. It should be general enough to not give away the details and specific enough to talk clearly about the subject, right? So this looks like a contradictory thing when you talk about in the first go, but it's not very difficult. Don't make your topic sentence way too general, not too general that you don't understand what it is being talked about and it's very vague, and don't make it too specific to the point where you have everything, all details given away in the first in the topic sentence itself, right? Especially if you're somebody who's a narrator. Okay, if you are following a narrative style, a storytelling style, then what you have to, it is also important that you maintain certain levels of thrill and suspense. If you're going to give away everything right away in the beginning, then who's going to read further from there, right? So it should be general and be specific both. So it should be general, not to the extent, not make it too general to make it look like a very vague statement given, a very broad, vague statement given, and don't make it specific to the extent that you give away all the details. That's the catch. Okay, that's how you write an effective topic sentence. To give you an example, look at the screen. You have 3 sentences there, right? The fitness industry is concerned with the health and fitness of the people. Okay, that's too vague a statement to make. Now, I know we are talking about the fitness industry. It has to do something with the fitness and health, right? So I'm not telling you anything interesting at that point, or I'm not even making any good statement there. So this is what you call a too general statement. Okay, so something like this will not look good as a topic sentence to any paragraph. Now look at the second one. The fitness industry is concerned with health, fitness, fashion, hygiene, mental well-being, and several other aspects of human life. Now, while that can be true, right, giving away so many things right in the beginning is not a good thing, and it's way too specific to be a topic sentence. What you can do is you can take them up as different topic sentences. If you are writing, say, an essay on this, then each of this factor can become a matter of explanation or a point of elaboration on the several paragraphs that you build up. Okay, even if this is an introductory paragraph, this particular sentence, now you can tell me, what if I'm writing an introductory paragraph to that essay? Why can I not write a statement like this? Even then, this is not something that can look like a good topic sentence, right? Because you are giving in too many details right in the beginning. You're not leaving anything for the reader to look forward to. Okay, now the last one, near effective. I call it near effective because it can be better. Okay, someone can come up with a better statement saying that, oh no, I think this could be better. So because there is a scope to make it better, it's nice that you call it near effective than effective. Okay, that's all near effective means. It does not have any other meaning. So what is the sentence? The fitness industry includes any person, company, or entity that focuses on exercise, health, and overall maintenance of the body. That looks like a fair enough topic sentence. So it gives you details, it gives you the controlling idea, but does not give away all the details also. Okay, so you can, the rest of the things, whatever it promises in the topic sentence may be found in the remaining part of the paragraph. But to begin with, it gives you a fair idea. It gives you the purpose, it gives you the central idea with some kind of precision without giving away too many details. Okay, you understand this part about how you keep it specific, not way too specific and not way too general? Is the difference identifiable and clear from the example that you have on the screen? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So keep these things in mind while you write a topic sentence. Okay. Next week, we'll have a exercise in these things. Today, I will not be taking up, not making you do anything as a part of the tutorial. We'll discuss these things for today's class. Next week, we'll definitely have a tutorial like we had for the last week. Every alternate weeks, we'll keep doing that so that, we also get some hands-on practice on these things. Okay. Now we'll begin with the example. This is a familiar paragraph to you. We already looked at this in the previous session. So I took this because I don't want you to spend a lot of time reading and understanding the meaning of it. My idea is just to tell you what a topic, sentence, and controlling idea is. Okay. Just look at the paragraph. Okay. So is it clear to you from the paragraph what we mean by a topic, sentence, and a controlling idea? The topic is clearly about writing. Okay. And the rest of the part, okay, is a complex socio-cognitive process. This is what becomes the controlling idea. What does the controlling idea do? It gives a perspective, it gives a direction to the reader about what? Okay, writing. You can write anything about writing, but what is this particular paragraph concerned about? It's about writing as a process, right? Writing as a process, and then there are other details added to it. But if somebody asks you, what is the topic here? Then you know this is writing. And if someone asks you, what's the controlling idea? You can say it's about the writing as a process, right? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Right. So this is how you identify the topic and the controlling idea. Controlling idea is nothing. It's just something that gives you the direction of the paragraph. It gives you the perspective of the author. It tells you about what direction, what way is the writer or the author going to take from here onwards in the remaining part of the paragraph. Okay. So in this particular paragraph, your topic is writing. And the controlling idea is about the process of writing, or both of them put together, you have the topic sentence, like what you see on your screen. Okay. And the rest of it, definitely, you have read this paragraph, which is why I'm not reading it again. The rest of it, like we discussed in that session, we know that it talks about the specific details of the skills in writing and other things, right? Can I move on then from here? Okay. Yeah. Also, this is also an example of the general to specific pattern. So where is the placement of the topic sentence? Placement in the beginning, right? In the beginning of the paragraph. Now we'll move on and look at an example where it is placed at the end. This is also a familiar paragraph to you. Again, you know, this is from the specific to general pattern, the same paragraph that we just looked at about writing, but this is now written in the specific to general pattern. And where do you see the topic sentence here? At the end, right? Same thing. You just turned it upside down, and now the topic sentence appears at the end of the paragraph. Right? And like speaking, writing is a complex socio-cognitive process that has to be acquired through years of training or schooling. Look at that. Okay. Again, the topic is writing. The controlling idea is the same. The process involved in writing and placed at the end of the paragraph. Okay. So this is the second position for placing your topic sentence. Now we look at the fourth example before the third. Look at this one. When a camera flash is used in a low light environment, the subject's eyes may appear red in the finished photograph. What is known as red eye is the result of light from the flash reflecting off the pupils of the eyes. The phenomena of red eye can be lessened by using the red eye reduction feature found on many SLR cameras. This feature activates a lamp which shines a small light directly into the subject's eyes. When this happens, the diameter of the pupil is reduced, thus tightening the opening in the iris. Since a small pupil means a smaller host for the reflection, the chances of red eye occurring are greatly reduced. Okay, so what is this paragraph about? What is the topic?
Phenomenon of red eye.
This is talking about the
Phenomenon.
Red eye reduction feature.
Yes.
So where do you find it? Amongst all the sentences that you have here, that particular thing is, that particular topic is indicated by the sentence. The phenomena of red eye can be lessened by using the red eye reduction feature found on many SLR cameras. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. So your topic then is the phenomena of red eye. The controlling idea is about the, how red eye reduction feature works in SLR cameras, right? So where do you find the topic sentence now? Somewhere in the middle of the paragraph, right? So it's neither in the beginning nor in the end, but it's elsewhere in the paragraph. Okay. So this is the example where the placement of placement of topic sentence falls in a position besides the beginning and the end. Okay, so this is also possible. Descriptive paragraphs sometimes can take up this form. Okay, they can give you the topic sentence somewhere through the middle of the paragraph, not always present in the beginning or the end. Okay, now let's go to the previous one. Example 3. Look at that. Try to read it quickly and give me a comment on the kind of paragraph. What do you feel? What do you think about this paragraph? Just take 2 minutes, read it, and tell me what do you think about this paragraph. Just raise your hands and then I'll come to you. Yes. Anybody? Any comments on the paragraph that you just read? Arpan. Go ahead, Arpan.
It is a question type paragraph. Start from questioning.
It starts with a question.
Right.
What makes you think so? Because there's what?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, you're audible. Please speak.
Ma'am, please speak again. What are you saying?
You told me that this looks like a question, right? So I'm asking you, why does it look like a question to you?
Ma'am, it is starting from such like asking a question.
No. So see, every time a word like what or how, just because you have the WH words, it does not mean that it's a question. Look at that sentence carefully. What a lark, what a plunge. So this is the word what there is actually giving you an exclamatory feel, right? It's more about surprise than question. Okay, what a lark, what a plunge.
Okay.
But what is your overall understanding of this paragraph? This doesn't look like a descriptive paragraph. This doesn't look like, it doesn't speak about anything so as to say. This looks like a bunch of thoughts. Okay. Doesn't speak about anything specifically. It's a description of a situation. Yeah, you can maybe say that, but then again, there is no order to it. There are too many things happening in that place. This looks like something that has crossed somebody's mind. This looks like a stream of thoughts that's been put together, okay, because it begins with something. At a time, this person is attracted to what is happening outside in the nature. Then the person comes back and thinks about something that has happened in her life. Then she thinks about her boyfriend, right? A lot of things happen in between. So there is no particular order to it, and this is basically somebody's stream of thoughts. So what form of writing this is? This looks like a creative. Yeah, it changes suddenly. So this is something that is very common to. This language is very common to literature, right? So it's mostly fiction and creative write-ups that are written in this way. You don't usually find this in professional spaces. But my point for you to see in this one was that you don't find a topic sentence here, do you? If I ask you what's the topic of this paragraph, or where's the topic sentence, all you can say, you can tell me is that, see, this looks like a bunch of thought from someone. This looks like a stream of thoughts that's crossed somebody. That's all you can talk about this. And this is something that is implied from the paragraph that you have read. This is not given anywhere explicitly. It does not, neither at the beginning nor at the end or anywhere else in the paragraph, does the paragraph itself tell you what the paragraph is about, right? So this is an example where your topic is implied, which is why I told you that in professional writing spaces, we don't employ that technique. That is not something that is recommended. And it can bring in unnecessary confusions. It can lead to loss of clarity in writing. But I just wanted to show you an example. This is not something, this method of writing, this method wherein you don't have a topic sentence, is not something that is recommended in professional writing. Just wanted to give you a flavor of how a paragraph without topic sentence looks. I hope you have understood that. Okay. So the only giveaway here is that no topic sentence, and this is not a recommended version of writing. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So that was about the topic sentences. Now about the supporting sentences. So remember the thing that you saw, the picture that you saw of the burger with several layers, and what did it look like? You had the topic sentence, which we just finished, which is the topmost layer in here, the topmost bun in here, right? Now all those meaty layers in between, right? The several layers that goes into it is what forms your supporting sentence. Now, what happens in a supporting sentence? Very important to know what they can do and what they look like. What do? They form the body of the paragraph. They explain, prove, or add or elaborate to what has been presented in the controlling idea. So what is the task of the supporting sentence or the sentences? They together explain, prove, add, or elaborate what has already been talked about in the topic sentence, or what the controlling idea is about. It elaborates the controlling idea further, right? Right. Yeah, it says 3 to 6, 3 to 5, whatever you can. I mean, this is again to repeat to myself, it's not a hard and fast rule. How many would go within the supporting sentences, what forms, the number of supporting sentences will definitely depend from topic to topic. But if nothing of the sorts is mentioned, then 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 is what you can go with. Okay, not 6, maybe 5 is enough, not more than that. Okay, the sentences that make supporting sentences would usually be of the following kinds. Okay, how will it look, and how would it look like a supporting sentence? It can look like a reason, it can be facts, it can be statistics, it can be quotations, or it can be examples. Any of these, if a sentence is to be identified in any of these fashion, then ideally it has to be the supporting sentences in the paragraph. Okay, and again, it is not necessarily restricted to the ones that you see here. So it needn't be, to qualify as a supporting sentence, something needn't be necessarily always a reason or fact or statistics or quotation or example. It can be something else also, like the paragraph that we just saw. They were all supporting sentences, right? But then none of them belong to any of the category that you see on the screen. There were no reasons, there were no fact, there were no statistics, no quotations, no examples. None of the sentences fit that category that you see here. So supporting sentences can be other things as well, but specifically in the domain of the professional writing, it can be one of the 5 things that you see on the screen. Okay, we'll look at the examples one by one and should be clearer to you. The first one, reason. Okay, just read that paragraph on your screen. You better stop wetting your bed or else the bogeyman is going to get you. Most of us probably remember a threat like this one being delivered at one time or another by a parent, babysitter, or older brother or sister. There are several reasons why young children are so often threatened with a visit from the mysterious and terrifying bogeyman. One reason is simply habit and tradition. The myth of the bogeyman is handed down from the generation to generation, like the tale of the Easter bunny or the tooth fairy. Another reason is the need to discipline. How much easier it is to frighten a child into good behavior than to explain to her just why she should be good. A more sinister reason is the perverse delight some people get out of scaring others. Older brothers and sisters in particular seem to thoroughly enjoy driving youngsters to tears with stories of the bogeyman in the closet or the bogeyman under the bed. In short, the bogeyman is a convenient myth that will probably be used to haunt children and sometimes actually cause them to wet their beds for a long time to come. Okay, so reasoning paragraph. You have the topic sentence going right in the beginning, and then you have a series of sentences, 3, 4 of them, all talking about the reasons for the spread of the myth of the bogeyman. Right? Clear? Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now, the second kind of, supporting statements, fact or statistics. This is fairly simple and straightforward. Okay. The global economy is projected to grow 6.0% in 2021 and 4.9% in 2022, so on and so forth. So all the sentences that you see on the screen, right, all of them talk about certain fact or statistics to be presented about the health metrics. From it talks about the projected growth of the global economy in the year we are now. Okay, so all the sentences that you see from further down after that topic sentence is something that adds up to it, and it's all giving you supporting details in the form of facts and statistics. Okay, a fairly simple thing to look at. So that's the second variety. Now the third one is very simple one, quotation. Talking about the craft of writing, Pinker hints at how writings is inherently poetic in nature. He remarks, look at almost any passage and you will find that a paragraph has 5 or 6 metaphors in it. It's not that the speaker is trying to be poetic. It's just that that's the way language works. Okay, so quotation is another type of supporting sentences that you can find. So here what is happening? Pinker is talking, he seems to be talking about the craft of writing, and he also wants to indicate the controlling idea is the poetic nature inherent in writing, and it's followed by the quotation that then in turn supports this particular controlling idea. Okay. Right. Now, how will an example paragraph look? Okay, this is also fairly simple. This is a paragraph about the piranhas. Okay, despite the fact that piranhas are relatively harmless, many people continue to believe the pervasive myth that piranhas are dangerous to humans. This impression of the piranhas is exacerbated by their mischaracterization in popular media. For example, the promotional poster for the 1978 horror film Piranha features an oversized piranha poised to bite the leg of an unsuspecting woman. Such a terrifying representation easily captures the imagination and promotes unnecessary fear. While the trope of the man-eating piranhas lends excitement to the adventure stories, it bears little resemblance to the real-life piranha. By paying more attention to fact than fiction, humans may finally be able to let go of this inaccurate belief. Okay, it's an example of what? Talking about how media representation can completely twist the fact to fact from the reality, right? It can twist it into whatever things it want it to look like. So this is an example paragraph of that, and it has taken the example of the portrayal of piranhas in popular media, right? So this is again one variety, another type of supporting details, supporting sentences, how supporting sentences can look like, right? Fine. Now, the last part in that picture of the representative burger that you saw, what was that? The first bun was your topic sentence, and all that middle layers formed your supporting sentence. And the last piece of the bun will be what you can call, or can be representative of what we call as the concluding sentence, right? Now, what does a concluding sentence do? It is in a standalone paragraph. Okay. Now, what do we mean by a standalone paragraph? If it is a single paragraph, by standalone paragraph, we mean a single paragraph. For example, I wrote a paragraph on fitness, okay, a single paragraph. In such a paragraph, it's a mandatory final statement. If there are several paragraphs, like say in an essay, you might not find a concluding sentence in every paragraph there. However, some of them will definitely have a concluding sentence, depending on what direction and what topic exactly you are writing about, right? But in a standalone paragraph, a single paragraph, you cannot do the paragraph without having a concluding sentence. So that is to talk about concluding sentence in the beginning. Now, what are the two functions that they perform? They reinforce. What do they reinforce? They reinforce whatever has been said in the paragraph and in the topic sentence by using different words. Okay, so in some sense, you can say that basically concluding sentence is actually a rewriting of the topic sentence using different words. Okay, to talk about the craft of writing it, you can say that it's basically rewriting of the topic sentence, but using different words. And what is it trying to do by rewriting itself? It's trying to reinforce the ideas, to reiterate, to underline and emphasize what has already been said in the topic sentence and has been supported using the supporting sentences. Okay. What additionally it does, it signals the reader that the paragraph has now ended, that now we have reached the end of this paragraph, right? So two things: reinforces by rewriting the topic sentence, by indicating and mentioning and summing up everything that has been already mentioned in the paragraph. Second thing, it also signals the reader that now they have come to the end of the paragraph. Now, what does a good concluding sentence do? It would restate the main point or idea. It will summarize the key points. Keep these verbs in mind. Restate main points, summarize the key points, draw a conclusion, make a prediction, give a suggestion, give recommendations, offer a final observation or thought about the topic, if any. Okay, so these are the things that can become the concluding sentence of a paragraph. Something that reinstates the main point, simply rewriting the topic sentence, summarize the key point. Okay, a sentence that draws a conclusion, or a sentence that makes a prediction, gives a suggestion, gives recommendations, offer a final observation or thought. If the sentence is of any of this nature, then that is going to be the concluding sentence. Or to put the other way around, the concluding sentence should essentially do one of these things. Okay, understood? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, now look at this example. A very short paragraph. This puts together in front of you the idea of topic sentence, supporting sentence, and concluding sentence. Okay, you can first look at the example and then look at the answer given down. That should sum up what we have been discussing today. Okay, which is elements in a paragraph. Okay, look at that. The beauty of studying abroad is gaining a broader understanding of other cultures. Having access to other people and building relationships with those people on their home turf enables one to think more creatively and flexibly, which are necessary skills in today's competitive work environment. If a student can bring that understanding and knowledge back to the USA, the sky is the limit. Okay, somebody's statement. Now, what's the topic sentence? Topic would be, so if I ask you to split the topic sentence into the topic and controlling idea, what would be your answer?
To studying abroad, like this.
Studying abroad is going to be your topic. And what's the controlling idea? What direction is it taking?
Like the beauty and the understanding.
Understanding of the cultures. Okay, so that's the direction it is taking. Now look at the supporting sentence and tell me if it does not support the topic sentence. Having access to other people and building relationship with those people on their home turf enables one to think more creatively and flexibly. Necessary skills in today's competitive work environment. Does it not add up? So understanding their culture would come only by building relationships with people there, right, on the home turf. And by doing so, what would happen? It will help you think more creatively and flexibly. So knowing the culture definitely helps you do that better, right? And if you can do these things, if you can know the culture by building relationships with people from the who are natives of that place, and by that become more creative and flexible, what is happening to you? You're essentially adding skills that are very much required in today's competitive work environment. You see that? All of those part by part are tied to your topic sentence. Okay. Yes. Are you able to see this clearly? If you can see this, then you know how to deal with the supporting sentences. Okay. Now, the final part is concluding sentence. If a sentence can bring that, sorry, if a student can bring that understanding and knowledge back to the USA, sky's the limit. This is sort of a quick summary, right? A quick observation, a final observation about what has already been said, that if you can do all of these things, this understanding and knowledge back to the USA, then sky's the limit. Okay. It has a personal touch by giving you an opinion on that, then sky's the limit, but it also summarizes what has been mentioned in both the topic sentence and also the supporting sentences. Yes. Are you all with me? And can you see this along with me or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that is, yes. Okay. If you can see that, then that's great. That's good news for you and me. Let me see if, okay, this could be the last thing. This is, of course, I mean, there's no prize for guessing this particular thing, although a very important part. A lot of us miss doing this. Unity and cohesion, right? Now, no writing. Now, this is not just for paragraph or any kind or professional writing. In any kind of writing, your writing is incomplete and useless unless there is the factor of unity and cohesion in it. What do we mean by that? By unity, now these are often things that are confused. Okay, people would take unity and cohesion to be one and the same, but they're not. Unity, it refers to the components of a paragraph, the ability of the components, or the how do I put it? You can either call it the ability or ability of the writer to present and indicate a particular topic towards a single main idea. Okay, so this essentially means that your paragraph should not have multiple ideas presented in one go. So if you have more than one ideas to present, like in the example that I gave you about the fitness industry, make sure that all of them goes in different paragraphs, right? You take up different paragraphs to build the ideas around it. Okay, keep one idea per paragraph. Do not overshoot the content that you place and present within the paragraph. Just write one single idea, one main idea, and go on with the elaboration and description of that. Don't clutter your paragraph with too many ideas. Okay, that is what unity means. Right? Each of the component must be tied to each other and provide for a wholesome idea. So here it means within the paragraph, when you present that single main idea, your topic sentence, your supporting details, and concluding sentence, all of them should be tied to each other. So if you take up the topic of fitness and hygiene, then you remain on the topic, and all your supporting sentences and the concluding sentence should point towards that direction. You should not your supporting sentence should not talk about fitness and mental well-being, for example. Okay, if you're talking about fitness and hygiene, stay on that. Even your supporting sentences should be based on that. So that is what you refer to by unity. Now, what is cohesion? Cohesion is basically about the flow of thought. So say you are giving 2 or 3 supporting sentences in talking about health and fitness and hygiene, right? So it is important that you maintain a flow in that you maintain a logical continuity in the idea that you present. Okay, do not bring in unnecessary things, unnecessary details into it. First, figure out what you want to write about, chart the topic separately, identify the controlling idea, what direction it's going to take, and then choose supporting sentences that would fit in that particular realm. Okay, don't take anything just because you find a word hygiene and fitness in that. So cohesion is then the logical continuity. Unity is about sticking with the single idea, right, and tying all the different components together into that. Okay, cohesion is more about the logical continuity within these sentences, that when you choose the supporting sentence and the concluding sentence to go with it, make sure that they're all, they follow, that one follows from the other. There is some flow between the sentences that you choose, and that the sentences you choose don't represent a quite different realm from what you want to present. Okay. And of course, we looked at this before also, that information then chosen like this, the sentences then chosen may be arranged how? They can be arranged spatially, temporally, chronologically to direct the reader's mind. Okay, so that is left to you. But more than choosing the style, you choosing whether you have to present something spatially or temporally or chronologically, what is more important to us than all of that is that you maintain the logical continuity of the writing. Okay, so that is what we ensure with cohesion. So unity, about the unity of the components of the paragraph and the your maintenance of the single idea and the main idea. Cohesion, more about the logical continuity between these sentences. Okay, understood?
Yeah, ma'am, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's also that's one way of looking at it, Akash. Unity is like the final goal that it should lead to one finally. Yeah. So to add one more thing, only if you are if you ensure unity of the idea, can you have some kind of cohesion. Okay, or maybe the other way around also, they both feed into each other. If any one of this is missing, then the other automatically gets affected. So unity ensures cohesion, cohesion also ensures that you maintain unity of the topic. So that way both of them can feed into each other, right? Maybe that's one of the way of looking at things too, right? All right, so that is for today. We discussed a fairly a good length of things. We looked at components of the paragraph. We looked at what it is. We looked at topic sentence and placement of the topic sentence. We also looked at supporting sentences and the kinds of the various varieties of supporting sentences that you can have, and also at the concluding sentence and what a concluding sentence is expected to do in a paragraph. Okay, so this, if you have a good idea about the structure of the paragraph, it's your writing becomes way easier. Okay, your arrangement becomes way easier once you have the outline and the structure in place. Thought processes definitely you can build in over the period of time. Okay. Yes, Ravikant. Logical continuity, of course, you won't take up anything that is completely different from this, but sometimes you bring in points that are not very relevant to what you're writing. So cohesion is another word that you can use for relevance. So make sure when you're adding supporting details that the sentence that you're adding is relevant to your topic and your discussion. Okay, there can be several sentences about the topic, but which one is the one which is relevant to my discussion? Okay, that is what is called cohesion. Okay, and that is what is called logical continuity. We'll do an exercise in that too in the next class, so you'll understand what we exactly mean by cohesion. Okay. All right. So that's all for today. I hope this is helpful and you've understood the session. We'll meet next week unless you have any questions to ask or any doubts or clarifications. If not, then I'm done for today. And thank you so much. We'll meet next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.